Now let's talk about Periazahwar since we're going to be learning his pasuram. The name Periazahwar is actually a title. His original birth given name is Vishnu Chitta. Okay. And this birth name Vishnu Chitta means one whose mind is always focused on Vishnu. Vishnu Chitta was born as a Brahmin and lived in Sri Villiputtur in the 8th century AD. Sri Villiputtur is a town in southern Tamil Nadu, about 80 kilometers south of Madurai. So if you ever happen to go to Madurai or even Tirunelveli, please make it a point to go to Sri Villiputtur. It's a very magnificent, you can see the Gopuram here, it's a very magnificent Gopuram. And just as an aside, if some of you have seen the letterhead of the Tamil Nadu government, there'll be a Gopuram. That is modeled on the Sri Villiputtur Gopuram. So continuing the story, Sri Vishnu Chitta was a great Perumal Bhaktan, and his daily routine was to offer garlands and flowers from his garden to the local deity, Sri Vadapatrashayi. Vadapatrashayi means the one who lies on the banyan tree leaf. Vishnu Chitta and his wife were maintaining the flower garden with great care, and he himself used to make the garlands as a service to the Lord. At that time, the Pandya king of Madurai was Sri Vallabhadevan. He was an able and noble ruler. Once he arranged a debate among scholars to determine who the supreme deity was, based on the scriptures. A reward in the form of gold coins was promised to the winner of the debate. On the night of the same day that the debate was announced, Vishnu Chitta had a dream in which he was directed by the Lord Vadapatrashayi to go to Madurai and claim the reward. Vishnu Chitta showed to the Lord the marks in his hands from doing Pushpa Kainkaryam and asked the Lord, how can he, who has not even studied the Vedas and has only done Pushpa Kainkaryam, go and challenge the assembled scholars and engage them in debate and win the prize? The Lord told him not to worry and that he will know and understand all the Shastrams with his grace. Vishnu Chitta obeyed the Lord's command and went to the court. There, he became a different person, pouring out arguments in the debate, quoting elaborately from the Vedas and Shastras. He won the debate and established the supremacy of Sriman Narayana as a Paradevam without any doubt. Realizing that Vishnu Chitta was a great soul, the king ordered that Vishnu Chitta be taken around the town in a ceremonial procession on the royal elephant, and the king himself led the procession. Large crowds assembled on the path and admired and praised Vishnu Chitta. To see and enjoy the success of his devotee, Lord Vishnu and Garuda appeared in the sky along with Shri and Bhudevi. Vishnu Chitta became joyous at the darshanam of the Lord, but he also became overwhelmed and apprehensive. Instead of seeking boons from the Lord for his own well-being, he became fearful that the grand sight he saw in the sky might attract drishti dosha, that is, evil eyes on the Lord. Immediately, he sang 12 verses, pasurams called the Pallandu Pasuram, wishing for the Lord's protection for many crores of years. He sang these pasurams using the two bells tied to the elephant's neck as tala. These Pallandu verses are recited daily in Sri Vaishnava homes and temples at the time of Aradhana. In these pasurams, Vishnu Chitta, instead of asking for protection for himself, he prays for the protection of the Lord. Because of Vishnu Chitta's unique love for the Lord that made him forget about himself, he came to be known as Periazahwar, the most magnificent amongst all the Arvars. Now, you might have a question here. Can evil eyes really fall on the Lord? After all, isn't he the all-powerful and the all-supreme? And also, how can a das and a servant wish protection to his own master? The answer to these questions is that the supremacy of bhakti, selfless love toward the divine, propels the devotee to forget for a moment the servant-master relationship, to forget the fact that the Lord is all-powerful and all-supreme. The love one has for the Lord and for his well-being overtakes everything. In Tirupallandu Pasurams, Periazahwar becomes like the mother who worries that some ill might befall her child and rushes to do drishti removal from the child. He wishes many, many years of good being to the Lord. Pallandu Pallandu Pallayirattandu. What Periazahwar has shown in this Pasuram is one of the most important tenets of bhakti, selfless love for the Lord. When the Lord sees such devotion from his bhaktan, his grace falls on the devotee. In fact, they say the Lord becomes a slave of such a devotee. Just like Krishna allowed Yashoda to tie him to the mortar, he became a slave of Yashoda when no other demon or anybody could conquer him or tie him down. Krishna allowed his great devotee Yashoda to tie him to the mortar, and then he got the name Damodara, right? So the Lord becomes a slave of such a devotee. With his grace, the devotee's mind, intellect, and soul gets purified. This purification gives divine bliss to the devotee, which is far, far greater than any happiness gained from material things. Now, in addition to the Tirupallandu Pasurams, Periazahwar has written other Pasurams as well, as we saw on that list. And in most of those Pasurams, what he does is he takes on the role of Mother Yashoda and experiences the delights of motherhood with Krishna as his child, starting all the way from the birth. For example, one set of famous Pasurams called the Neeratal Pasurams, he cajoles and pleads with Kutti Krishna to come and take his bath. These Pasurams, starting with the words, Venne Alendu Kunangum Vilayadi Pulidiyum Kondu, there he says, you have putrid butter and dirt of the playfield all over you. Narana Neerada Varai, oh Narana, come for your bath. These Neeratal Pasurams are typically chanted when they do Abhishekam for Perumal. Even in Richmond Hill Koil, if you go on Saturday, when they do the Abhishekam for Perumal, these 10 Pasurams of Periazahwar, Neeratal Pasurams, are chanted, and they're very, very beautiful. There's another set of Pasurams called Poochootal Pasurams, where he as Yashoda is pleading with Krishna to come and wear the different type of flowers that he has brought to offer. So that's a little bit of background on Periazahwar.